I got my girlfriend. She's a crime scene investigator, so she got the call around 12:30 that night to go in and start processing that scene. And then when I was en route to the command post, I remember her calling me and her telling me, because her job, naturally, she's seen things that even I, as a police officer, with the time that I have on, can't even process. And when she told me how surreal the scene was, and how many bodies there were, and that there was still food cooking on the grills.
When I got home, it never, back to the place, we all stayed up that whole day and just watched it over and over on TV. And trying to make sense of it, trying to understand it.
There's going to be literally a unique version of this for every single patron at the concert that dealt with this craziness.
The day after the event, I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock the next morning, and we still weren't sure exactly what, or for me, I still didn't exactly fathom what had just happened. I got about 2 hours of sleep that morning. I woke up, did what every person does when they wake up, grab their phone, and I made the decision to go onto Facebook real quick. And I started seeing messages that said, "Rest in peace, Cameron." One of my friends was killed. And so I don't know where he was shot. I don't know the details of where he was standing. I know Cameron was probably somebody that was very close to the stage. I never saw Cameron that night.
My fiance opened the door and we just stared at each other. We didn't even say a word, and we just kind of looked at each other, and I was just like, "Can you give me a trash bag?" Because I had blood all over me. And I just kind of went into the shower and stood there for a while. Kind of took it in, and just can't believe something like that could happen, you know.
It was unlike anything I'll ever go through in my life.
At the end, I was completely exhausted. I had never been that exhausted in my entire life. That night, I didn't stop running. You know, I didn't walk. You know, I ran, because if I walked, I might miss somebody, you know, who might be crashing somewhere else. When my mom called, she said, she asked me, and she said, "Hey, were you there? Were you working that night?" And I told her. But she told me how proud she was of me. And I was proud of what we did. You know, I was proud of what the whole hospital did, and what the team did, what the city did.
My mom was calling me, and she said, all I can remember her telling me, because everything was so chaotic at the time, the only thing I can remember her telling me is, "Just please come home. Just please come home." That was it.
I broke down when I got home. This was so real, and I just started crying, man.
Nobody kind of even realized, I think, the severity of the situation, what had actually had happened until we left that morning.
We're thankful we were in the spot we were at. We said that 100 times. Just, we were meant to be in that spot, not somewhere else that day. And not bring the kids. We're just happy to be able to come home to them.
I think it was feeling all those emotions. Feeling anger for why it was done in the first place, sadness, crying.
This was definitely a reality call, wake-up call. You think these things never happen. You could happen to you, and, you know, when it does, I mean, there's just no words to process it.
I still have my bracelet on because and I don't know. I have it on because it's just so I know it'll get better later. I want, you know, it's helping me out a little by little. It just, if I take it off, it's, how do you explain it? Yeah, I'm letting go right away. I don't want to let go. I want to I want to feel better, but then if I take it off, I feel like I let go of a lot of people that I want to make sure everybody's out of the hospital. Everybody that was injured out of the hospital, okay. As soon as the last person's out of the hospital, I'll take the ban off.
And I think what's been hardest for the staff is now that it'll never be over, but now that the patients are going home, they're being transported back to their cities, and the next day it was business as usual. And business as usual has a new look about it.
Monday, October 2nd is a day that's forever changed my life. The operating room is not the same. Still, when I walk in, I still see faces, I still hear cries.
Charlie was so larger than life. Because everything that man did, he did for his wife and son and daughter.
That night, in a hail of gunfire, Charlie's last actions spoke for him. He shielded, protected, and shepherded people to safety. He took actions to save lives.
I just could not process that a little teeny tiny bullet would find its mark and drop this giant of a man.
Charlie was the kind of man that gave this agency heart.
He was a mentor, a coach, he was a professional. More importantly, First Star Hartfield, he epitomizes everything good about being an American.
This loss of what was truly an exceptional human being.
Knowing Chucky and having him as a friend made me a better person.
And then I was taken back to his family. Because I know how much he loved them and wanted to protect them and wanted to ensure that they had everything that he probably didn't have growing up in order to be able to ensure their success.
I'm proud of you. I love you. I looked up to you. Even though I'm older, I looked up to you.
I think the first thing that I would have said to Charlie is that if there was any way I could have taken his spot, I would have. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to do right by him and honor his name, his memory, and his legacy.
One thing I do know that something good is going to come up from this. One thing I do know is something good has already transpired from this. And brother, again, I love you and I miss you. But this is not the last time.
AM 008. May he rest in peace.
I don't know if I have words to describe what we're going through and what these poor, unfortunate victims are going through. We're angry, we're grieving, we're confused, people are hurting.
So right up till the end of their life, it was a beautiful time for them, right up to the end. And it's not going to help the survivors, the people that are there. It's not going to take away their pain, but they need to know that their family had fun right to the end.
And I think it's important for people to know that anyone that died out there didn't die alone.
My wife was a great person. She was very active in the church, brought up my 3 kids, and my 8-year-old daughter's at home right now. I don't know how I'm going to tell her. I have no idea. She loved her mommy so much.
We struggle for the words to explain to our children how such evil can exist, how there can be such cruelty and such suffering. But we cannot be defined by the evil that threatens us or the violence that incites such terror. We're defined by our love, our caring, and our courage. In the darkest moments, what shines most brightly is the goodness that thrives in the hearts of our people.
Dear God, watch over our mommy, and we hope she's having a great time with you, and we hope that she sees Brookie have a long, wonderful life, and she will think about you every single day. Right? Amen.
But you know what? We're going to win this. We're going to win over anything. It doesn't matter what it is. We're going to win. We're strong. United, we're strong.
We have hope. You know, that people won't always be, you know, all the hate and crime and everything. Just tell him what happened when he's older. Where we were and when he was born, the next, 24 hours or so later.
Between the first, responders, nurses, families, Las Vegans, everyone, it's been the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my entire existence.
It's not just, they went through a tragedy and Vegas is strong. No, this is real actions that occurred, after a huge tragedy like this. Everybody stepping up to be the hero that's inside them.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't even remember, did you carry me? There was so much going on.
So, I went up to you after, I went up to you and people were already putting pressure on you. So I would check the wound, I was making sure you were breathing, you told me your name, and I just kept asking you, how was your breathing? And you're like, I'm breathing good. So we loaded you up into the ambulance and we went to the hospital. We carried you, I put you on the nurse's bed, and I was running in with them to the ER, explaining what was going on, giving a little quick scenario. So, and then I remember the last thing you said to me was, I can breathe better if you sit me up. So we sat you up, and then you went to the trauma bay.
Thank you. It's just amazing to me, everybody who was a part of my saving my life. So, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Everybody came together.
These man-made mass casualty incidents, they really are the absolute worst of humanity and what humanity has to offer, but they also bring out the best of humanity.
As far as I'm concerned, the shooter isn't even involved. We just think about what we did and the families and the patients and everything else that was involved. It's not even a blink of an eye or a blink of a whatever. That's not part of it. We think about what was involved that night and who we took care of. Families, patients, Las Vegans, first responders, who took care of those people that night. Everyone there at that concert. That was what was as important.
I think it's pretty freaking awesome. I'm pretty proud of my city right now.
This is the biggest outpouring that I've ever seen.
I made friends with all the people inside, and we've been talking and, getting to know each other and, just sort of comforting each other and sort of finding a way to get through this together as a community. This is great.
It's a lot of heart. in Las Vegas. It's not really Sin City like everybody likes to say. It's a wonderful association of caring people who live here, raise their families, and make this town a town with a great heart.
Vegas isn't made of just made of glitz and glamour. That there are people here, and there's a lot of different type of people, and they all came together for one thing, and it's just, I think, an overwhelming sense of proudness of the city, and you're proud to be here, be a part of this community.
Our God is greater, our God is stronger, God you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God is greater.
Quite often we're the ones that go in when everybody's running the other way, and then in case in point, this event, that's exactly what occurred. And we asked the officers who are well trained to address these type of events, active shooter events. But this is different than anything they've trained for because the active shooter is unreachable. So our intent is life safety. That's our first priority in law enforcement, and I'm very proud of what our officers did.
To see how this community came together so quickly, just absolutely reaffirmed for me the reasons why I became a police officer.
Welcome, Sergeant William Muntz, Officer Tyler Peterson, Officer Levi Hancock, Sergeant Josh Bitsko.
Not many places, I think, could have come together like this and then do that. And then to see these entertainers and the hockey team taking having that ceremony in the opening game. I mean, these are people who are wanting to highlight what we do.
Dr. Syed Saki, Dr. Michael Chang, Nurse Destiny Andrade.
The first responders and what they've done, it's their finest hour. Their finest hour.
To all the brave first responders that have worked tirelessly and courageously throughout this whole tragedy, we thank you.
Las Vegas always steps up in time of need, and they're showing it once again. And the need is real. I mean, we're going through a lot of blood when you talk about 500 people in the ER rooms. You're going through a tremendous amount of blood, and that need will continue. And then we've also started a GoFundMe page. We've got 500 people that have got to have families coming into town and need plane tickets. Burial expenses are going to have to be paid, and we've set up an account, and people have been extremely generous.
People, complete strangers, wanting to donate blood so we can save some more people. People donating food, giving it to hospitals, saying thank you. That's what a strong community is.
I'm so glad that Las Vegas came through, and not only is being known Sin City, but we're a city of compassion. We're a city of love.
We love Las Vegas, and by God, we're Vegas strong too.
I mean, this is awesome. I'm very proud of the Las Vegans. Very proud. Vegas strong, Sunrise strong, everything. It's just amazing. I'm proud to be a Las Vegan.
Thousands of heroes that night, and no one could have saved all of these people by themselves, but as a community, we saved all of these people from this tragedy.
It's difficult when people come up to me and hug me and say, "You're a hero," or "You call me a hero," because I don't know how to respond to that. It's not why I got into this job. It's not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up to sit behind cameras or in front of cameras. I signed up to serve my community, to help my community.
By no means do I feel like a hero.
by no means do I feel like I should get some special treatment or be treated differently. I'm just human.
No. No. The staff was heroes. The team, I could say the team's a hero. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Because none of us could have done it alone.
The sheer amount of thank yous is a lot of good, and that in itself kind of, it means a lot.
I heard there were patients that are victims that ran into bars and were protected, and those are heroes, because all those people in those restaurants or bars, they could have ran home, but they didn't. They stayed there to take care of all these strangers.
You know what? Everybody pulls together. Whether you were the person that driving the truck that hauled people to the hospital, whether you're the person that helped out the bodies with the people, whether you were the person that, as you were leaving, you grabbed somebody and helped get them out of there. You were the two guys that helped my wife off the fence. You were strong then.
We got through it. I'm just thankful that everybody of my crew got out, and I'm so proud of them. How brave they were, going back in there every single time to just try and help one more person, try and save one more life.
Do you feel like a hero?
No. I don't feel like a hero. Not a hero. I do what I do because I love what I do.
A lot of people call you a hero.
I know that. I love what I do. I'm not a hero.
What are you?
I'm Cynthia Stetham. RN.
We witnessed one of the worst tragedies in American history. Like everyone, I'm struggling to understand what happened that night and how to pick up the pieces and start to heal. So many people are hurting. There are children, parents, brothers, sisters, friends. They're all part of our family. So I want to say to them, we hurt for you and we hurt with you. But you can be sure that we're going to walk through these tough times together every step of the way. Because when America is at its best, our bond and our spirit, it's unbreakable.
You can't let